Hello students, today we'll solve the remaining question of the chapter probability. We'll start from question number 30. So it is given that for any two events A and B, what can be the probability of A minus B? Then four options are given that probability of A minus B will be what? So we know the formula of probability of A minus B. Probability of A minus B means remove the part of B from A. So what part of B comes under A? That is the A intersection B. So what we have to remove? We have to remove A intersection B from A. So what will be its formula? Its formula will be probability of A minus probability of A intersection B. So this option will be right for this question. Second question, the limitation of classical definition of probability is. What is the limitation of classical definition of probability? So we know the definition of classical probability or classical definition of probability, that in this probability, this samples should be finite. Okay, we can perform experiment only finite number of times, right? Then its events should be mutually exclusive, exhaustive, and equally likely. If it satisfies all these conditions, then we can say that this is the classical definition of probability. Now options are given to us that first option, it is applicable when the total number of elementary events is finite. So this option is right. This is applicable if the elementary events are equally likely. This is also right. C. It is applicable if the elementary events are mutually independent. So mutually independent is wrong because we want mutually exclusive. And D is saying both A and B are correct. So A and B both are correct, that this sample should be finite and they are mutually exclusive, equally likely. Mutually exclusive is also correct, but in option mutually exclusive is not asked. They is asking about equally likely. So both are correct, finite and equally likely. Question number 32 is what? According to the statistical definition of probability, the probability of an event A is what? So we know the statistical definition of probability, that limit probability of any event A is written like this: limit n tends to infinity m by n, where n is the total sample space or the number of times experiment is performed, and m denote the number of times our event A occurred. What it shows, that n can tends toward infinity, means in the classical definition there was restriction that the sample space, that n should be finite. Here n can be infinite. We can perform the experiment number of times, but there should be some this is not possible, means infinity is not possible. If we are doing something, then we will do that finite number of times, that we know. But here the limit for that finite value is not defined, means you can do number of times you want to do. So that's why here the limit to this n is given. For any two events A and B, option A, probability of A intersection B is what? Now it is asking to us the theorem of compound probability. Theorem of compound probability means conditional probability, and by using the conditional probability, we know that probability of A intersection B can be written as probability of A intersection B upon, there should be B. Okay. So compound probability states what? Probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B given A. Then probability of A intersection B state this. No, this is wrong. Then probability of B is equal to probability of A minus B. No, this is not the conditional probability. Then this is also not the conditional probability. Now this is what the compound probability or conditional probability. We know that probability, if question ऐसा होता है actually, इसने A intersection B पूछा है, लेकिन ये क्या है? Conditional का ही question है. So probability of B given A, by using conditional we can write it as B given A. So we will write intersection of B and A. So B and A can be written like this: probability of A intersection B. Now the second element, see here, second element is A. So we will divide it by probability of A. So from this formula, if I pick up only the probability of A intersection B, then what formula it forms? It forms probability of B given A into probability of A. That's why option A is correct. After that, 34 question is what? If A and B are mutually exclusive events. If A and B are mutually exclusive events, then what happens? Mutually exclusive events, then what happens? There are four options are given. So we know that if two events are mutually exclusive, then their intersection should be equal to 0. If two events are mutually exclusive, if A and B are mutually exclusive, then probability of A intersection B is equal to 0. So if A and B are mutually exclusive events, then probability of A is equal to probability of A minus B. Probability of B is equal to probability of A minus B. Probability of A is equal to probability of A intersection B. Probability of B is equal to probability of A intersection B. Now we'll think about option number A. So probability of A is equal to probability of A minus B. Now what is probability of A minus B? Probability of A minus B is equal to probability of A minus probability of A intersection B. This is the formula probability of A minus B. Now we know that A and B are mutually exclusive. So this will be equal to 0. So this will be equal to this. So option A is correct. Now we'll check B. B is wrong क्योंकि A minus B में हम जब solve करेंगे तो equal to probability of B तो आने ही नहीं वाला, A आने वाला है, तो ये तो हो गया wrong. C वाला बोल रहा है कि A intersection B होगा, ये भी गलत क्योंकि A intersection B तो 0 होता है, और B भी गलत क्योंकि A intersection B 0 होता है. So आंसर क्या आएगा? A आएगा. Probability of A is equal to probability of A minus B. 35 question. If probability of A minus B is equal to B minus A, if situation is like this, that probability of A minus B is equal to probability of B minus A. If probability of A minus B is equal to probability of B minus A, then the two events A and B satisfy the condition. Which condition? These two events satisfy if these two are equal. So we'll solve this. We'll try to solve this. So this can be written as probability of A minus probability of A intersection B, right? After that, probability of B minus A can be written as probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now if I shift this A intersection B to the right side, what will happen? See, so if I shift here, it will become plus, minus sign will become plus, and this will be, okay, I will put it as it is, probability of A equal to probability of B minus probability of A intersection B, this as it is, and this minus will become plus when it comes to the right side. So this minus and this plus will become 0. What is remaining? Probability of A equal to probability of B. So if probability of A minus B is equal to B minus A, then the two events A and B satisfy which condition? A. Probability of A is equal to probability of B. Remaining are wrong. All are wrong. So option A is correct. 36. The number of conditions to be satisfied by three events A, B and C for the complete independence is. So when there are three events A, B and C, and if they are independent, then if A, B, C are independent, then we can say that A and B are independent, B and C are independent, A and C are independent, and A, B and C are also independent. So for complete independence of A, B, C, this event must satisfy these four conditions. So answer will be C, 4. After that, question number 37. If two events A and B are independent, then probability of A intersection B will be what? So if two events are independent, then probability of their intersection is product of their individual probability. So equal to probability of A into probability of B. Values of a random variable are always positive number, always positive real number, natural number. So we have seen in probability that whenever a random variable is taken, whenever we take a random variable x, so it can take any value, it can take negative values also, it can take 0 also, it can take positive values also. So it can take any value, means real numbers. It can take any real number. So there is no restriction about this random variable. It can take any value which is what? Real number. Question number 39. Expected value of a random variable means this. Expected value means this, expectation of x. So this expected value is known as also mean or average. So this mean is always positive, May be positive or negative, may be positive, negative, 0 can never be 0. So there is no restriction on the mean. So mean can be positive, sometimes it may be positive or negative or 0. So we cannot say that mean is always positive or negative or 0. It may be positive, it may be negative, it may be 0. So option C is correct. Question number 40. If all the values taken by a random variable are equal, then what happens to its standard deviation? There are 4 options. So its standard deviation will be equal to 0. Answer will be what? SD is 0. When all the values taken by a random variable, suppose x is a random variable and all the values taken by random variable are 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Suppose 6 observations are there and all the 6 observations are 5. Then what will be standard deviation? Standard deviation measures the dispersion, means the variation in the data. If all the observations are constant, there is no difference between the observation, then the standard deviation means the variance will be equal to 0. So standard deviation will be equal to number 41. If x and y are independent, then what will be the expectation of x and y? If two variables are independent, their expectation, product of their expectation will be equal to multiplication or product of their individual expectations. So expectation of xy will be equal to expectation of x and expectation of y. Option A is correct. Question number 42. If a random variable x assumes the values x1, x2, x3, x4 with the corresponding probabilities p1, p2, p3, p4, then the expected value of x is, so what is the formula of expectation of x? It is equal to summation x into p of x, means take all the values of variable x and its probability. So first variable is x1, its probability is p1. Second variable is x2, its probability is p2. Then x3, p3, x4, p4. So this is the answer. So option number B is correct. So this is what? Option B. Question number 43. If f of x, the probability mass function of a random variable x satisfies. Now see, here it is a mistake. When I have explained you the probability mass function and probability density function, at that time I have explained you that probability mass function and probability density function in our book are denoted by the same letter f of x, or there is same notation for both. But actually the probability mass function is denoted by p of x and probability density function is denoted by p of f of x. So here both are denoted by f of x. So let it be, consider it a probability mass function. But probability mass function, by its name you can understand that this probability is for the discrete. So what is the formula? What is the condition for a discrete? That probabilities should be non-negative, means probabilities are greater than equal to 0 and the sum of probability is equal to 1. So this option is correct, that probabilities are non-negative, means they are greater than equal to 0 and the sum of probabilities is equal to 1. F of x means probability, this f of x means probability. So this probability greater than equal to 0 and when we take the sum of all probability we will get 1. This is the general condition of EMF. Question number 44. Variance of a random variable x is given by, this is correct, expectation of x minus mu square. This is what? Variance of a random variable. Then expectation of x minus expectation of x whole square. This is also correct. B is also correct. Then C is wrong. And D is saying both A and B. Then D is correct because both A and B are correct. This is what formula? It is asking the formula of variance of x. I have explained you what is the formula. Variance of x is, you can write it like this also, expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. But from where this formula comes, then its main formula is what? See here, it is actually the formula is this, expectation of x minus mu square, and at the place of mu we can write expectation of x minus mu is itself expectation of x and then whole square. So these two are given just like two options, so both are correct. And when you solve this or this, you will get this type of form. So all these are the variance of random variable. Question number 45. If two random variables x and y are related by, like this is the relation between x and y, where y is equal to 2 minus 3x, then what is the SD of y? If such equation is there and such linear equation is given between two variables x and y, and the SD or variance of another one is asked, then the formula is what? SD of y will be equal to modular of b into SD of x. Where we have learned this? In the chapter measure of central tendency and measure of dispersion. This is what the property. How to find standard deviation. Mod b into standard deviation of x. So mod b is what? See, compare this by this, y equal to a plus bx. This is the general line. When there is such type of equation relation between x and y, then the SD of y will be like this. Now the relation between x and y is this. Then what will be the SD of y for this equation? It will be same, b into SD of x, right? What is b? So this is a and this is b. The variable, the variable and the coefficient which is in multiplication with variable is the b. What is b now? b is minus 3. But we are taking it into mod. So minus 3 mod into SD of x. So it will become 3 into SD of x. So option, which option is correct? B option is correct. So here we have solved up to question number 45. Okay.